This is Gospel Music Today. We're at the National Quartet Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and we're talking to one of the great gospel songwriters. This is Ray Holliday. And Ray, welcome to Gospel Music Today.
What a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Tell me about some of the groups that you've written songs for.
Well, you might be familiar with the Dixie Echoes. Been around for many, many years. They're a third-generation gospel group. I used to watch them years ago on the old Gospel Singing Jubilee, and some people new to radio as the Skyline Boys, but they're a fine group out of Virginia. They record some of my songs, and the Apostles out of Little Rock, Arkansas, and there's another group new to sending their songs to the radio is the Singing Weavers from up in Ohio.
What's the process? I know it's different for everybody, but what's the process with you for writing a song? Do you go to your office at a certain time each day, or how does that work?
Yes to all of the above, I think. I've got a song in my pocket right now that I'm working on, so, and some people say, how long does it take to write a song? And the answer to that is anywhere from 15 minutes to 8 years, or maybe 10 years. So you start something, and I've got a book at home that's got 2 or 3 lines of stuff in it, and sometimes you write a verse, and you run out of words, so you put it back, and a year or 2 later you pick it up, and the rest of it comes to you. So it's the thing I tell people that wants to have their songs recorded by other people. The first thing you need to learn is patience. Patience.
What are the steps in that? How do you contact the groups? How do they find your songs?
People ask me that all the time. I tell them the thing that I tell them to do is, if it's for aspiring songwriters, to do their songs and write it the best that they can and go through it and keep somebody in mind that once you get the song written that you think it would fit. You know, a lot of the people, one group I might give a song to them and they say, well, this is not exactly what I need. Then another group, I give it to them, yeah, that's great, so they record it. But then when they figure that out, make the best demo that they can, make it sound as good as they can, and just take it to them and then see what happens from there. But patience, patience, patience.
Do you write the words and the music?
Yeah, I do that. And I play a lot of different instruments, so I've got like a little studio in my back room, and I go and make most of my demos I make there. So yeah.
How much influence do you have once the group takes the song from the time when they decide to do the song until it's recorded?
All the groups, they make it fit themselves, you know, and as you probably noticed, I'm an old country boy and I don't speak real good, correct English, and a lot of times they'll have to say, well, now the correct English way to say this is it. So I'm used to that, so and that's okay for them to do that. But I've not been disappointed with any of the groups that has changed any words or something to my song, and that's okay because everybody does that, so that's fine.
Now we're in the field of Southern gospel music. Do you check how do you make sure that the songs are correct, you know, scripturally correct?
Glad you asked. Glad you asked. You'll find, if you would look through some of my books that I'm writing in, or the notebooks where I'm writing my songs, you'll find scripture references on the side of every song that I write. You'll find scripture references because, hey, we'll have to answer to that. Is the same as a preacher will have to answer what he preaches from the pulpit. We'll have to answer as songwriters of what we write about. Mm-hmm. Glad you asked that.
Now, does that come first usually, or do you get the idea and then go back and check?
Like I say, yes to both of those. Okay. Yes to both of those. A lot of times, I'll when I'm wanting to sit down and write a song, I'll go through Psalms or somewhere and just scan through, and something will jump out at you, and so you'll go from there. And so or a lot of times you'll be something in everyday life will just say, whoops, you know. And this morning, the one I got in my pocket now, this morning, we got over here last night and slept in our motorhome here. And so we didn't have to get up. We didn't have to get up till 6:45 this morning. We overslept, slept late. But I woke up and had this song on my mind, so I grabbed me a little notepad and wrote down the words to it. So tonight I'll go back and try to work on some more of that.
Do you remember the first song that you wrote that a group recorded?
Yeah, it was actually the first person that ever recorded one of my songs besides me was a bluegrass group up in Richmond, Kentucky. The John Cosby and the Bluegrass Drifters. They recorded a song called "Hushed and Still." It was sort of a bluegrass song and sort of a gospel song. It was a bluegrass song with a lot of gospel overtones to it, and they recorded that. And that was the first person that ever recorded a song of mine except me. So.
When was that?
Probably 30 years ago, I guess. So, yeah. So.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us on Gospel Music Today.
This has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Now back to more Gospel Music Today.